Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am back with another Selvage quilt block, little tiny ones. This is going to be a partial selvage block. It's good for someone who doesn't have a whole lot of selvages. It's also good if you have some short selvages. You can use 2-inch selvages, 3-inch selvages, and you probably need at least 4 or 5-inch selvages also, but maybe only one per block. Let's get started. I am doing 3-inch squares. They're tiny. You can do any size you want as long as you have selvages long enough to go across the entire corner to corner, diagonal. For instance, these are 5 1/4 inch selvages, so I can certainly make it across. Here's the first thing you're going to do. When you cut your squares, you're going to put your, let me see if you can see here, corner and corner on a line. And you're just going to count up. So this is 1 inch, 2 inches. You could also just do that with a ruler, but you're not measuring this way. You're measuring this way. So center to the point, 2 inches. Doesn't have to be exact. I'm going with 2 inches. You're going to take some Wonder-Under. This is a double-sided fusible, and I need 2 inches, so I cut a 2-inch strip. This is good if you're making a whole bunch of these blocks, and they don't have to be the same. I just happen to have the same. Let's just fold this so I can explain a little bit. We want the fusible on this side on just 1/2, so just on this triangle. We don't want any fusible on this side at all. What I'm going to do, and I have the glue side facing up, I'm going to put my little square with the print down. We want the glue on the print side. And I'm just going to lay it with the corner points like this. And it's okay if there's no glue right to the very tip. It's just to hold our selvages down a little bit. Now, if we take the next one and we go here, we're going to be in a pickle. It's not that easy to press and do that. We're also wasting fusible. So what you do is you place one this way, you place the next one this way, and it's kind of just going to lay like this, butt up against this guy. And if you had another one, you would put it this way, and then another one this way. Your whole strip, except for the 2 ends, would be covered. That is much easier to press. So let me get my iron heated up, and I'll come and press this. Oh, I need my little ironing board too. I am back. You would not have to use Wonder-Under. You could use that double-sided fusible hemming tape, and you could just take your square and lay a couple of strips, and then put your selvages on and press. But I happen to have some scraps, so I'm using this to show you how to use this. It's okay if your corners are below this. We don't want glue on the opposite end. So once you do this, you'll understand. I'm assuming that you're just going to know how to do this. So I have these laid down. I'm just going to press. I suppose if I didn't want any of this on my iron, I could just put a piece of scrap fabric there. Why don't we do that? Let's put a piece there and a piece there just to show you. Now we have more room to press. But again, if you were doing multiple squares, you would just fill your strip. Do them all at once. Now I leave my iron for a good little while for Wonder-Under, and then I let it cool before I peel the paper off. And sometimes when you peel the paper off, some of the glue lifts up. That's okay. Doesn't matter in this case. I'm just gonna, whoa, I don't want to peel all that off. Let me just cut this here. So I'm going to trim around my squares. I'm making this way more difficult than it needs to be. Seriously, it's not this hard. And cutting them apart. So now we have Wonder-Under on 1/2. And again, it doesn't have to be right corner to corner. I have mine above those corners. See the corners here, and my one to under starts about 1/8 of an inch above that. So then you just take a side and you just kind of like rip a little bit just to get that paper started ripping, and then you just peel it off. Super cool stuff. Let me see. Let me do another little rip here. It's not usually this hard. Okay, here we go. We're going to get a whole big chunk now. All the rest. You can feel it slightly, but try to put it down so that you know this is the half that has one to under. So I'm going to just put it down this way. And I'm going to do the same to this guy. Okay, that's the side, because I don't want to forget. Now I'm going to still work on this ironing board because we're going to be pressing again. And you can see I have some of the fusible, some of the glue is just like sticking out there. That's fine. So now I want, oh my goodness. I want my one to under on that side pointing away from me. And I'm going to start laying out some selvages. I pulled a few selvages. I took a 2-inch one for my tippy top corner because I don't need more than that. And I'm going to use the selvage from each end of the strip this came from. One has writing, the other one doesn't, and it doesn't even have white. This one has writing and a little bit of white with no writing. We have white and no white. We have white and no white. That's all good. So I'm going to start with one. I'm going to start with this one that says Sweet Home on it. And I'm going to do this one across this diagonal. And I'm going to put it so that it's right corner to corner. And I'm going to do that with the other one on here. Now, I don't need a whole lot of color showing because it's very short. I don't want to put just one more selvage. So I'm going to layer them like very close to each other. So let's see. Let's put the writing of this one now on this side and see, instead of going up here, I'm going to go closer to the white line. And then this one, I'm actually going to put that down a little bit more. That's good. And then this one can be like this, just as long as I have a little bit showing. Next, I'm going to do this blue. Let's do with the white on this one. I'm going to go over here. You just want to make sure your selvage goes over the edges of your block. Like that. And now let's finish. I'm going to put the one with the words here. And we'll put this one right here. Now each time that I did that, the selvage is aiming toward me. Now I just have to press these. Now what I do before I start sewing or before I even trim, I am going to go on the back side and I'm going to just sew on each edge here just to stabilize everything. And I'm going to do that to both blocks. Like that. I did it very close to the edge. Now I'm going to trim, but I'm still leaving some of this because when I sew up and down each selvage, I want to have room to be able to go off the block and stitch and turn. Let me just explain that in a minute. So I'm going to leave maybe a 1/2 of an inch. Well, that's probably not quite a 1/2 of an inch, but see, I want some selvages sticking out. This is big enough for a corner, so is this and this. That goes back into my selvage box. This goes into the trash that never really gets thrown away. Now I'm going to the machine, and I actually have this color, aqua, in my top thread. So that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to stitch here, and then I go past that sewn line, and then I turn my block, and then I'm going to stitch this way until I get to the raw edge of this one, and then I come down that raw edge, and then I go this way, that raw edge. So I just do that all at once. I just go back and forth, and I capture each raw edge. Well, it's not really a raw edge, but you know what I mean. The selvage edge, I should say. I capture each selvage edge. So I did that, and now at this point I can trim right up to the little block. And if you have any little pieces sticking out on the corners, you can trim those too. Now, even though I used the same selvages, they're quite different. Before I did these, I made 2 others. Also with the selvages, matching on each one, but obviously they're not going to match these 2. But here's the cool things now that you can do with these blocks. You can put your selvages in the center, and it makes, a block that way. Or you can turn and put your fabric in the center, and you've got this going on. We should be able to do a pinwheel also, like that. Is that right? Yes, it is. What else can we do? You can make them go this way, and if you did a whole bunch of them like this, and you kept building, it makes like stripes, diagonal stripes. So I just thought you'd get a kick out of this. I really like them, and I like that you don't have to fill the whole fabric with selvages. I really like them this way, but of course now, if you were to build more of these, you would get secondary patterns around. So give it a try. You need to. I insist. I'm actually going to have these 4 little guys on eBay if somebody wants to bid on them, starting at a penny, free shipping in the USA. Outside the USA, you must pay shipping. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. I'll be back with more soon. Bye. I'm taking pictures for the penny auction, and look, we can also do the bow tie. I forgot about that one.